ready.
Welcome to another episode of Buff in the Rough. Today we'll hear from Braxton Owens about playing center on his basketball team, what it's like to win the UKC First Strike Series 3 years in a row, and a lot more. Help me welcome Braxton Owens to the program. Well, hey Braxton, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. I really appreciate you taking time out to spend a little time with me today to talk about hounds and what you've been up to and just to learn a little bit more about you. I know you're a very busy young man. I know that's a fact. But Braxton, for folks that maybe don't know you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe how you got into hunting?
I got into hunting because my parents, we've always had beagle dogs. My parents got me into hunting because we hunt them all the time, and I just started hunting with them, and then I got into competition hunting. And
one of the things I wanted to ask you about, what part of the country are you in? Do you live
Missouri.
in? Missouri, okay. And what's the hunting like where you are? What does it look like out there? Is it hilly? Is it flat? Is there a lot of water? No water? Lots of brush? What does it look like?
There's a lot of brush, and there is some big hills, but there's not many big hills. There's a lot of briars out here, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good for rabbit hunting. I mean, that certainly gives them a place to hide and a place to live. Well, I understand that outside of hunting that you play sports. What all sports do you play?
Baseball and basketball.
Which one's your favorite, or do you have a favorite?
I like both of them pretty well.
Okay. So right now, as we're recording this, I guess you're maybe in basketball. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And in basketball, what position do you play?
Usually center.
Okay. All right. And if you had to describe how you play, are you more of a defensive guy, an offensive guy? What's your flavor? What kind of player are you?
Probably defensive.
Are you usually the tallest guy out there?
Yeah, I can be, yeah.
And how old are you? You may have said in the beginning, but Braxton, how old are you?
12.
12, okay. So you got just a few years before you'll be driving, not too much longer.
Yeah.
Well, Braxton, let me ask you this: as you've started getting into competition hunting, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about you playing other sports because that's pretty common. Folks that have that competitive nature about them, it just kind of bleeds over from baseball, basketball, football, whatever it is, right into competitive hound hunting as well. So it's not surprising to me that you like to play sports. So that kind of goes hand in hand with each other, I think. But as you've been growing in the sport, you mentioned your parents, but who are some of the people that have influenced you the most?
My coaches and like baseball and basketball, and yeah, my parents influenced me in hunting mostly.
Mm-hmm. And what all have they done to influence you? What have they taught you about how to take care of a hound, how to hunt one, how to I mean, what have they done to really make you feel like they've been influencing you?
They practice like showing with me and go out and we learn the dog's barks and see how fast they are and see if they're good dogs and work on pups.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that I'm not sure that everybody that'll be listening will understand, but could you tell us about kind of the youth series that you've been involved in and maybe a little bit about how that works?
Yeah. So at the hunt, you sign up. If you lose, you get 5 points. But if you win, you get 15. And on the show, if you win, you get 15. And if you lose, you get 5. And yeah, that's pretty much how that works.
And so this is a series that lasts the entire calendar year from January to December. So you have events you can hunt in the entire year long?
Yeah.
And you've been doing this for a couple of years now, haven't you? Competing with your beagles.
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years. Well, that's a good start. That means you started when you were like 8 or 9 years old. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. Well, I understand that you're on quite a run, that you've been very successful and you've won a few things. Could you maybe talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I won the Strike Series 3 years in a row, and I'm winning right now.
Well, I tell you, winning anything, just winning a cast to me is a pretty big deal. I can't imagine winning that many casts in a year's time. That would land you as the winner of the entire Strike Series 3 years in a row. That's pretty impressive. What's it like? I mean, so to do that, I imagine it takes a lot of work, and I imagine that you're traveling a lot. So is that true? I mean, do you travel to different parts of the country to go to these hunts and shows, and tell us a little bit about what that's like.
We don't travel too much, but like we get to like the bigger hunts, and it's pretty fun. Like a few weeks ago, I think it may have been last week, and I went to McVeigh and won 2 casts and 1 open show.
So the McVeigh hunt's going to be one of the larger events that the United Kennel Club hosts every year. So that's
Yeah.
to go to that and win not one cast but multiple casts is a pretty big deal. So that I know that had to have been a thrill to be
Yeah.
able to do that. But then you also have to have a little luck. So I know there were some two cast winners that advanced to that final 16, but I'm assuming that you just didn't have enough points in those two casts to advance to that 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was like 16 dogs. I think I was like 17 or 18. I was real close.
Yeah, that is close. So, being successful at such a young age and being like a three-time winner of this series, how do you do it? I mean, what's the secret to your success? Why are you successful?
Running dogs a lot and practicing.
I thought you might say that. So, what's a typical week like for you? On average, how many times do you run a dog a week?
I usually hunt for like 2 hours a day. I usually hunt like 4 dogs in 2 hours a day, and then practice showing a little bit when I get home.
Well, you mentioned hunting and showing, so you like a dog that looks good and hunts good too.
Yeah.
You like that combination dog. Well, so do I. I do too. I think if you're going to put all that time and energy into a hound, they might as well be pretty. Well, talk to us a little bit about some of your favorite hounds. Now, you don't win these; they don't give these things to you. You've got to go out and earn it. So you must have had or do have today some pretty good hounds. Could you tell us about some of the hounds that you've done all this winning with?
Well, Ice, she's the one I won with at McVeigh. I won 2 casts with her, and I won the open show with her. And T-Post, he's one of our dogs. I've won quite a bit with him. He's real pretty. I've won the youth show with him. I've won the Eliminator hunt or the youth part of the Eliminator with him. And Rona, my other dog, I think it was 9th place in nationals with her. And at the Youth World for ABC, I won that with Ice.
Well, I know this is kind of like for people that have had kids. You ask them, they'll tell you they don't have a favorite kid. They love them all the same. But out of these dogs that you're doing all this winning with, Ice, T-Post, Rona, do you have one that's your favorite, that you like a little bit more than the others?
Probably Ice.
Now, why is that? Why do you like her more?
She hunts hard and she's fast.
Now, where did she come from?
Zach Shepard, she's out of Freckles, his dog Freckles, and Cash.
And as you've been out there traveling kind of all over, because I know you've probably, like this past weekend when you went to the McVeigh hunt, I know you hunted against a lot of good hounds. Are there any hounds that you've run across that just really stood out to you? You were like, wow, that's a really nice hound.
Cade, Jason Snelson's dog.
Yeah, I've heard folks talk about him, Jason and Cade. He's done quite a bit of winning with him, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I think so many people don't think about are the challenges that you face, especially getting started. Now, you mentioned your parents were maybe already into it, so that's helpful. But what are some of the challenges that people face when they start hunting? I mean, were there any things that were tougher than others in the beginning? Because I think of things like you mentioned learning the rules, getting a good dog, finding. I mean, you were 8, 9 years old when you started. You had to have somebody that would take you to hunts and help pay for all that kind of stuff. But as you think back on your career so far, what were some of the tougher things to deal with?
When I was younger, I didn't hunt dogs as much because I couldn't drive out to go hunt. But now I can drive out there and go hunt my dogs. And the rules, you gotta learn them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the rules, and they change them every few years, so you got to stay on top of those for sure.
Yeah.
Well, for other people and maybe youngsters and adults alike that may be considering getting into competition hunting, or maybe they just have good old rabbit dogs, but they're interested in trying one of these competition hunts out. Do you have any advice for them?
You probably need to run your own clock for like the 1 hour, and look at the rule book a lot before you go.
Mm-hmm. So is that kind of how you prepare during the week when you're out there hunting with your dogs and maybe your parents? Do you keep score? I mean, do you practice? Is that part of what you do?
Yeah, I kind of keep it in my head, like who would win.
Now, do you think you'll become a judge at some point, or have you ever been asked to judge a cast?
Yeah, I have.
How'd that go?
It went fine.
Did you win?
No.
I thought the judge was always supposed to win, Braxton. That's what I've been told. But I must be the same kind of judge as you. I don't win very often.
Yeah.
That's carrying the scorecard. So, what do you love most about beagles? I mean, what keep because to me there's so many options for young people today. You mentioned that you're into baseball and basketball. You certainly could be into 100 different things year round within your age group. But what is it about beagles that you love about them that draws you to the sport and keeps you in it? What do you like about them?
I like going out and hearing all the dogs.
Mm-hmm. If you could build the perfect dog for you, you could draw them up. You could. Now I know you like a good looking dog too, but if you could draw one up, especially for Braxton Owens, what would they look like? What would they sound like? How would they hunt? What kind of dog do you like?
I would want it to be tri-killer, and I would want it to hunt hard and be fast,
Mm-hmm.
and have a loud mouth
Mm-hmm.
or a unique bark.
Boy, that's nice. It's always nice if you have one that's unique.
Yeah.
Now, would you prefer a male or a female, or does it matter?
I usually have better luck with females.
Mm-hmm. I think too often people concentrate on bad things that happen to them while they're out hunting. I'd like to turn this question around. Can you think of a time when somebody did something really nice for you? Like, what's one of the nicest things somebody did for you while you've been out hunting?
Help me catch my dog, and because sometimes my dog's hard to catch, and they go out and help me instead of standing there like some people do.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes those hard hunting dogs can be a handful. I had a guy tell me, a very successful hunter in the competition world, tell me one time he likes a dog that's just a little hard to catch sometimes. He wants them to be just a hard hunting dog. Do you have any funny stories or anything that's just been kind of weird or crazy that's happened to you while you've been out on these hunts? I hear a lot of funny stories sometimes about things that happen. But does anyone come to mind?
Not really, but when I was hunting at my house, my dog Fireball, he caught a rabbit and brought it to me, and then my mom's dog Rocket, went over there and started barking at it to try to get it to get up and run.
is when you're out there competing, I know that you've been in quite a few competition hunts to this point. Is there someone that you like to beat just a little bit more than anybody else?
No, I like to win.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question. This is an age-old question. I had somebody ask me this years ago. Do you love to win or do you hate to lose?
I'll lose if I don't like. I can lose with as long as I don't get cheated. Like I'm fine with losing as long as I don't get cheated.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you think in the future you'll keep hunting? Because you're a young man here at 12 years old, and next thing you know, you're going to be driving, and there's probably girls and all kinds of other things that might be thrown at you as you grow up. Is this something you think is just in your blood? You'll be doing it for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I do.
One of the questions I wanted to ask you about, because I think you've hunted in a couple different registries, or you've hunted and by registries I mean there's several out there: United Kennel Club, PKC, and AKC and ABC. There's many of them out there. You hunt in more than one registry, is that correct?
Yeah.
Now, how do you like them? Do you like one any more than the other, or do you like them all about the same?
I think I like ABC. I've been to 2 ABC hunts, but I think I like it a little bit more.
Why is that?
You don't got to catch your dog after 3 lines, is most of it. And
well, Braxton, for folks that may not be competition hunters, could you talk us through that rule a little bit? So, in some registries, after you have an opportunity to circle and score a rabbit 3 times, you have to, even if they're still running the rabbit, you would still have to call your dogs off of the track. And so what I think you're saying is, in ABC you don't. You just let them keep running.
Yeah, you can score as many lines as you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to call a dog off of a track, It it really is. It kind of drives me crazy sometimes too.
Yeah, me too.
That's a good one. Well, what is it about competing that you like? I mean, what is it about competing? And I'd like to maybe hear your answer on this. We'll take it and break it into 2 pieces. So we'll talk about hunting, the hunting part, and the showing part. But when you're hunting, what is it about being in a competition hunt that keeps you going back? Why do you like it so much?
I like going out on a cast and having fun with people.
Mm-hmm. And what about the show part? What is it about preparing a dog to go put them on the bench and show them in front of a judge that you really enjoy?
I like to go. I just like to go practice showing. It's just I've always did it, and it's just fun to me.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any tips for anybody as far as getting a dog prepared to show? I've heard all kinds of stuff from start them early, start them when they're really young, and it makes it easier when they get older.
Yeah, try to show them a little bit early and train a lot.
Mm-hmm. So on the dogs that you hunt and show, do you practice with like for example, you take maybe you're out hunting ice tonight, and you finish hunting. Do you practice showing her after you hunt her, or before you hunt her, or you just don't practice showing with her? Maybe you pick a dog you didn't take hunting to work on the show part with. How does that work for you?
I usually show them after. The ones that I'm like gonna show them like a big hunt, I show them after I get done hunting, so they're a little bit more wore out and easier to show.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. So let's talk a little bit about your style of dog. You mentioned earlier that you like a dog that's fast. What's more important to you, or is one more important to you? The way a dog moves speed-wise on a track, or how close they are to the track, that they're running really true to that track and not really getting kind of sloppy off of it or swinging or anything. Does any of that bother you, or do you just speed kills? You just want a really fast dog?
I want a dog that's fast and can control a line.
That's a really good answer. That's a very good answer. Well, Braxton, are you into any other kind of hounds or hunting? Do you coon hunt or squirrel hunt or anything, bird dogs or anything like that? Or is it just totally beagles?
I got a squirrel puppy, and I'm going to try to get her started. But sometimes I'll go out with my buddies and hunt with their coon dogs.
Mm-hmm. Do you like that as well?
I like coon hunting pretty well. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nothing like it. That's one of those that if it gets in your blood, I don't think you can really ever get it out all the way. I think that one will be stuck with you for life too. Well, I'll tell you what. Is there anything I didn't ask you about that I should have? Anything you want to talk about? With a lot of people, they may have a stud dog or puppies on the way or something like that, or a hunt they want to tell folks about. Is there anything that you want to talk about or promote?
Mike, Zach Shepard, and Mitch Gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to thank them for all the dogs we got from them and puppies.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of the things that I think is very helpful, especially to a young person getting started, I don't want to say it's common practice, but I've seen it more than I would like to. A lot of times young people kind of get the second-rate dogs, It's not the people that are out here campaigning dogs. It's not necessarily their top dog that they're going to want to part with. And I think a lot of times they dump some dogs on the kids and young people that they really shouldn't. And I think that's one of the most demotivating things that can happen to somebody starting in the sport, is to start off with a dog that's not any good. And how impressive that is that you were able to get hooked up with some of these guys that are going to put a very good prospect in your hands. Now, I know they all don't make top dogs, but the list of guys you're talking about are known to have some really good stuff. So I'm really happy that you mentioned them. And just so everybody hears again, that you mentioned Zach Shepard and Mitch Gould, and was there anybody else maybe that you want to recognize? Was it Mike? Did you say Mike?
Yeah, Mike Higbee.
Higbee, okay. Very good. Because we want to give those guys credit and appreciate what they're doing to help support the sport. Well, very good, Braxton. I've really enjoyed talking to you, and I wish you the best. And you said that you were leading in the series so far, and right now we're in September of this year. So do you have a comfortable lead, or is it a fight this year?
I think it's probably a fight. It's close.
Well, I wish you the best, and I look forward to hopefully running into you at one of these hunts in the future. Now, will you be at the World Hunt? I think that's in Missouri this year. Do you have dogs qualified for that?
Yeah, I think we got 7 dogs qualified. We'll go to that.
Oh, wow. Well, that's pretty good. You got a whole lineup ready to go. Well, Braxton, I certainly appreciate it and wish you the best. And again, thank you so much for coming on and sharing a little bit about you and about why you're into the beagling scene, and sharing a little bit about your experiences. I thank you.
Thanks for letting me get on here.
Thank you for listening to Buff in the Rough. And remember to like and subscribe if you want to be notified when we have new content available. And please send comments and suggestions to buffintherough@gmail.com.